It's 2:42 a.m. Taking a megabus tonight. Okay, New York, 5:22 a.m. Okay, so welcome to Times Square with like no one, which is nice. So the goal for today is to find the cheapest way possible of getting to Montauk, Long Island, which is like the tip of Long Island, which is very different from here. And so the first goal is to get to Jamaica in order to ride the to get onto the nice bus, which goes further into Long Island. And so that could be accomplished with a subway ride, but like, you know, the bus came early, I had a lot of time, so I'm walking to 61st and 2nd to get a local bus to Jamaica, because you know what, why not? So that's the current plan, and this is gonna be interesting. As the sun rises over New York, we sit here, stand here. There's a seat, but we stand here waiting for the Q60, which will take us to Jamaica. And as we leave the tall buildings of Manhattan behind, we're never going to be in quite a dense environment ever again. It'll slowly get more and more suburban and eventually rural. It's gonna be a long day. All right, so I'm walking to 165th Street Terminal now, where I'm gonna get the N40. That's it. No, yes, something like that. I don't know. Okay, this is the 165th Street Terminal. We're gonna go for this N22. I wish I had more time to talk about how awful this place is, because it's really funnily bad. It's like this weird shopping plaza and there's weird buses and it's really strange, but anyway, so N22 it is. So we'll see how that goes. We're gonna take that to Hicksville. Hey, Sunny. Hi. Sunny joined me. Okay, so we got 1X for OKs here. So we've basically gone from Manhattan to, or I've gone from Manhattan to Hicksville
We'll make the next one, yeah.
for only $2.75, which is in
nothing.
itself pretty impressive. Two things. Number one, the bus is busy. Number two, so this road is the boundary between New York and Nassau County. Do you know which side New York is? So that's New York, and this is Nassau. So we're outside of the city right now. Welcome to Floral Park. A great place to live. Just love this giant road with like no one on it. This feels way overbuilt.
West Nikolai Street.
4 people remain on the bus as we approach Hicksville. Almost there. It's been about an hour and, how long? An hour and 20-ish minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long trip. So we're now stuck in Hicksville for about 35-ish minutes. And then we're gonna get an N79 to Suffolk County. So we'll be advancing to our next county, but we are still a very, very small fraction of the way there. So there's a number of things going wrong here. First of all, we have an N79 right here that's just not supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be one arriving, it's not supposed to be one leaving for some period of time. And then we have the schedule here, which they put up for the Saturday schedule, and it's not even right. It's like way off. This is just a mess.
April schedule.
This is just a complete mess.
It's the June schedule when they introduced the service, and they did it in December.
I can't really use this, but basically, like, you can see it's sort of similar to this. There's like a long gap midday on each route. It's like a rush hour schedule on Saturdays. On weekdays it's rush hour only, and that makes sense, but on Saturdays they also run a rush hour schedule. I'm curious how many people it'll get in general. Like, it'll be interesting.
So NICE has some very, very weird transfer rules. For one, if you want to get on a Suffolk bus with a Metro card, you still have to ask for one of these. And also, if you can make 2 transfers solely within NICE for free. I don't know how that clock works though, the 2-hour clock. So
I apparently got a transfer. We're like, I guess we'll check the card when we get back to the city because I have no idea. It said a transfer, so I think we're still at 275 here. But then we also have this, so wow.
The X54 leg is very short. It's like a 10-minute ride.
Okay, but still.
Yeah.
This route is super leafy. Okay, it's our first farm of the trip. Will we see more further into Suffolk County? I don't know. But we're not in Suffolk County yet. All right, we are officially in Suffolk County. So, in terms of counties, we're 2/3 of the way. No, we're 3/4 of the way there. So we start in Manhattan, and then Queens, and then Nassau, and then Suffolk. So we're 3/4 of the way in terms of counties.
Geographically,
In terms of distance, yeah, we're still really far behind. So we're here at the Walt Whitman Shops, which has this big transit center. There's just a bunch of bus shelters. And so we have until noon. It's currently like, it's about 11 o'clock, and we have until noon until our next bus. So we're gonna get lunch here at this high-end looking mall. So that's gonna be our bus to, we're taking that, where are we taking it to?
somewhere in East Northport.
Somewhere in East Northport to connect to the S58, which will take us to Riverhead, which will be a much longer journey. This one we're only gonna be on for like 10 minutes. So now we're gonna wait here for the S58 to Riverhead. A note on fares. We could have gone to Patchogue for $2.75 basically, if we had so wished. So now we're gonna be waiting here for about 10-15 minutes, and then our bus should come. So because we're outside of MetroCard territory, we now have to use exact change only. I'm supposedly $1.50 because I'm a student. Sunny is gonna be $2.50, so
Except that I have this.
a dollar coin. So yeah, so this is the first time we're paying a new fare since Manhattan. So
This whole thing is gonna go to crap if our Metro cards in fact show that we paid 2 fares.
I know, that'll be sad. That'll be really sad. We see a bus way in the distance. We also just calculated that we're about halfway there so far. So we're making some form of progress.
We've also made every connection thus far.
Yeah, which is good. Let's not jinx it, but like, things are going pretty well. Look at this seating arrangement. It's like one seat's just on the wheel and like way higher than the other ones. That was $1.50 for me for the transfer as well, and then you paid $2.50. And yeah, so we have a very tight connection for these transfers to work, and if we miss the connection, then we miss the 2-hour limit. So we're hoping that this bus is relatively on time, and also the S92 is relatively on time, because if it's late by more than a few minutes, then it'll be beyond the 2 hours. This is a very long route, this one we're on now. Okay, we've barely been on this thing for like 5 minutes and we're already deviating into Macy's Plaza, which looks straight out from the 1950s. Riverhead, 25 miles. We still have a while to go. It's been pretty sprawling. Oh, what's this deviation? Or is this just the normal trip? We're turning onto this very large road. Is this just the route?
It's part of the Smith Haven Mall deviation.
Oh, we're starting the Smith Haven Mall deviation. All right, status update. The driver has taken, so at the Smith Haven Mall, the driver has taken a bathroom break. We were 6 minutes behind when we made the stop. So we're probably gonna leave like 10. Yeah. Is this an express section?
It's a big, giant deviation.
We're making a really big deviation. It apparently involves an express section because we're now going onto a highway. And what are we deviating to again?
This is the campus of Suffolk County Community College.
Oh. Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to use that on a Saturday. The road we were just on is right there behind that building. We've basically done this U-turn. I mean, not really a U-turn, but we're going back north now. And
Never actually served anything yet.
yeah, we've just been like going down this road that's colored pink for some reason. Oh, I think we have to go into it. Oh, it's a deviation within a deviation. It's just a little shelter thing here. Okay, there are people waiting, it looks like. Oh, it's a transfer to the S63? Neither of these people are waiting. Well, we just wasted our time. Wait, so we just went like there, around and around and around and back here. But the mall's right here. But if they just had a crosswalk across the street, but wait, we're going into the mall anyway. But
Maybe just a spin.
wow, what is this? What are we? So we go over there, but there's no way that was the most efficient.
We somehow made up 5 minutes with all this. So we're about 5 minutes behind.
Okay. But there's also no way that that's the most efficient way to do that deviation. That was ridiculous. But 5 minutes behind, that's good. We're clawing it back. We've been getting an absurd amount of ridership for an area like this, and it's caused us to get behind. Whoa, oh, here's a pond. It's caused us to get behind schedule again, so we're now 8 minutes behind schedule. That's beautiful. My gosh, we're really out in the middle of nowhere now. But we're also getting close to Riverhead, so we'll probably start getting suburban-y again. So we've got a nice traffic jam here at Tanger Outlets. We were excited because we thought we would get here on time, but we may end up late.
Keep in mind, I originally scheduled ourselves to be on the S58 behind us an hour later. So we're ahead of schedule, but that may not be a good thing because we might have to kill that time later.
Yeah. If we missed, so we're doing, once we get to Riverhead, we're doing the S92 to East Hampton.
To the 10C.
And then the 10C. The 10C has a 2.5 hour gap.
Something like that.
So if we miss it, then
We'll sit around.
yeah, we're stuck in East Hampton for a while. We're almost to the Riverhead County Center. There's a bus in front of us. We know it's an S92. We don't know if it's going in our direction. It's not the right one?
It could be.
I think. Oh, it's probably gonna leave. It's sitting up, it left. It's pulling away. Which way is it going? Oh, is it gonna wait? Is it gonna wait for us, or is it just waiting there to?
Stop. Leave the camera on. 'Cause I don't know what.
It's going. Oh, it's going to East Hampton. That we could have taken that. Are you serious? Oh my God! Can you believe that?
Okay, it's half hour wait.
Can you believe that though? And now we're not gonna make the, like, now we have a hard time making. No, with the 10C, we're gonna have a hard time making the 10C. This place is really depressing. So that right there is an S66. Had we taken the 54 to Patchogue, we would have been on that exact bus and saved ourselves a lot of stress and anger from watching the 92 just leave. It's, that's an 8A. Are you, Alright, this is the real bus. What? I was just talking to the camera saying that this is the right bus. Finally. Let's get out of here. So we're on the late S92. I asked how likely we are to make the 10C at East Hampton, and the driver just shook his head.
At least it's of our transfers.
Yes.
Which I did not realize that the fare box would actually return the expired transfer to you with the word expired printed on it.
Yeah. So we'll be stuck in East Hampton for like 2 hours. Montauk, our first sign of Montauk. We'll get there eventually. Yay.
Do you want to explain the deviation? That's what this is.
Oh, is this? Oh,
I think this is it.
So we're embarking on a deviation.
Might be.
Okay, we may now be embarking on a deviation that the bus only does. It's only a deviation because the road was like cut off. So the bus has to go to the end of the road and then U-turn and come back. And now the road ends. That's the road we're gonna end up on in like 5 minutes, but for now, we just gotta turn around and go back. And I really hate this deviation. Even out here, the suburban sprawl still manages to come out. So we've spent like 15 minutes coming up here to surf Sag Harbor, which is admittedly very nice. At this point, we might as well just show up as late as possible so we don't have to wait as long for the 10C. Oh, and wow, it emptied out the bus. There's a deer.
There are deer in Wassaic too. Metro North has deer strikes way too often.
Oh. Okay, we're at East Hampton. The bus was half an hour late, so we're gonna hang out here for an hour and a half until the next and last 10C. It was a long ride.
Lots of traffic in some places.
Yeah, Sag Harbor was having like a festival. Lots of traffic there. East Hampton's going for this little village thing, but the road is too wide for it to be particularly charming. So for the record, if we had made that 10C, that's the train we would have been on right now. Okay, so there are two buses over there. They're both S92s, it seems like. The 10C should have arrived like several minutes ago, and we're waiting for it. Hopefully it's on time. We have spent far longer in East Hampton than I think we care to want to ever spend again in our lives. So yeah, so we're hoping this 10C is punctual and will get us to our train on time, because if we miss it, it's the last train of the night.
12 hours for the next train.
Yeah. It's a minibus! We saw it's a minibus! Oh, this is why. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Here we go, boys, let's do it! All right, so the fare was another $125.
And we're finally on Tennessee.
Yeah. So we're just going through like the complete middle of nowhere, and like it's so weird. There's a bus that comes out this way, but
There's 9 passengers on board.
there's ridership. Yeah, and like the minibus is really stable. It's low floor.
Does it not have a wheelchair lift?
Yeah, it's a wheelchair ramp, so it's not jiggly. It's a very good experience. We're just speeding along through the woods. So we'll probably be hitting water soon. Oh, those waves! Wow. This road is super hilly too. It's so much fun in the minibus, just bouncing along. So that's downtown Montauk. And so that was our last bus. Now I guess we arrived at Montauk at 6:59 p.m. I left Manhattan at 6:35 a.m. So this trip took a total of 7 hours. No, what?
12 hours.
Wow, I'm tired. 12 hours. And I've been up since 2:50 or whatever. No, 12 hours and 24 minutes. I think. So we're walking to the train station now.
The bus driver is sitting here. The schedule says he'll leave at 19:07. The train leaves at around 7:30, and I don't know if he's going to go straight to the station.
Yeah,
so
so
we're just going to walk.
we're just gonna walk
Worst
it.
case, we'll see the bus pass right by us.
Okay, so this is downtown Montauk. So as we're walking, we'll debrief our trip. So you know, the final price will be displayed right now through the power of editing.
We don't even know it because we still have to look up our
Right,
Metro cards.
exactly. So, but it was pretty cheap, regardless of, like, even if we did get charged a second fare, it was still pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So the question is, was this long, arduous trip to Montauk worth it? Like, if we were going to Montauk for the weekend or whatever, would it have been worth coming out this way?
It's probably better off in the other direction because each service gets more and more frequent as you go west. So
versus the way we did it, where it gets less frequent.
So if you miss a connection, you're less likely to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
That said, 79 Saturday schedule is very. It would seem very likely that we would get stuck
Yeah.
in the midday gap.
And it doesn't run on Sundays, so yeah, so that's the verdict. If you're looking for a cheap trip, make sure that you time it well and give yourself lots of padding. We gave ourselves lots of padding and ended up, like, way too much padding, but it ended up, we're just on schedule with that way too much padding schedule. So, like,
Yeah,
give yourself a lot of
put your
padding so you don't
padding
disappoint
in places
yourself.
where you think you'll need it.
Yeah.
Don't, like, we were supposed, I gave myself over an hour at East Northport waiting for the S58. That probably was not necessary.
Yeah. It was a long day. It's gonna take me forever to get back to Philly. I think it ultimately will have been a 23-hour day for me.
Well, we'll get back to Philly we'll get back to New York.
Oh, hi, dear.
We'll get back to New York. 10:30, 10:40.
Oh, good. So I'll get to Philly at like 1-ish.
Yeah.
So it'll be
it's not later because late night services.
Yep. So definitely don't make it a day trip from Philly. That's the moral of the story. If you're gonna go to Montauk for cheap, don't do it as a day trip from Philly.